to be. All righty. So everybody's on mute and we are recording. All righty. So as you can see, what I decided to go into this week is the idea of a scientific look at emotions. A lot of times we don't look at emotions in any type of a sciencey way, but there actually is a lot of science behind the idea of emotions. Whatever the emotion we might be feeling, there's actually processes, there's chemicals, there's all kinds of synapses and just all kinds of activity, even when it comes to emotions and even thought. But in particular, what we're talking about is emotions. And so we're not necessarily talking about mental health as we are talking more about emotional health. All right. So why is it so important? Working on our emotional health is just as important as taking care of our physical well-being. And that's something that a lot of times, we don't consider. We think about, eating healthy, exercising, drinking lots of water, et cetera, et cetera. But our emotional health is very important, okay? And so there are choices that we make every single day that add up to good emotional health. It could be whether, we wake up and, we start, phone or, whatever it might be, because that phone is definitely something that is not, it's not the healthiest, for our health, emotionally speaking. So taking care of our emotional health is very, very important. Okay. So the choices that we make, who we relate ourselves to in the day, who do we hang around with in the day? Who do we talk to? What are our thoughts about? How do we even think about ourselves? How are we feeling emotionally, right? There's a lot of studies and there's a lot of science behind, good emotional health. Because to be honest with you, I would rather decline in my physical body than in my mental and my emotional state. And like I say, mental health and emotional health, there is a difference between the two of them. We are going to talk about emotional health today. So taking care of our body, very important. But having a healthy mind is just as important as having a healthy body. And I might add, in some ways, it's almost more important. All right. So what is it about a healthy mind or healthy emotions that's going to benefit? Well, one is when the stress does happen, which there's going to be stress in our day. There's going to be stress in our life. There's going to be stress. We have stressors all around us, right? Stress causes a lot of problems with our immune system. Stress causes a lot of problems with just with our digestive system. Stress causes a lot of problems in so many different ways. Stress can actually make us sick if we can't handle it properly. Okay. And so that's where handling stress and being in control of our emotions, being able to balance those things out is just so important. All right. A good emotional health, it gives us deeper relationships. So when you're equipped with the skills to manage your emotions, it's easier for you to connect with others. It's easier for you to show more empathy, more compassion. You're better able to deal with disagreements, right? An argument isn't necessarily a bad thing, right? An argument is just where there's two opposing sides, right? It's what you make of it that makes it right or wrong. You can discuss it. You can argue a point, right? They do that all the time in court. They argue cases, right? And it's not necessarily a bad thing. So sometimes we think of an argument as it's a bad thing. No. It's what you make of that argument that makes it right or wrong, right? And that has a lot to do with your emotional state, with where you are. Are you stressed? Are you anxious? Are you very tired? Are you there? I mean, there's just all kinds of things, right? And I know a lot of times with women, I know I was telling somebody last night, we were having a fellowship. I was telling somebody last night how that, with women, we are largely governed by hormones, right? And so, hormones have a lot to do with it. Now, does that mean that as a woman, we just excuse ourselves from angry outbursts or attitudes or just bad behavior just because, well, it's that time, or, it's hormones, or, oh, it's, whatever, this time of life, whatever. No, we don't just excuse ourselves from those things. We try to work through it, right? We try to deal with it. We try to overcome it. Okay. So where you are emotionally will allow you to get through some very stressful and difficult times with a lot more control than otherwise, right? When we're in control of our emotions, we can have a higher self-esteem, right? Because our thoughts, our feelings, our experiences, all of those influence the way we even feel about ourselves. So good emotional health helps you see the best in yourself despite the challenges. I know when I look in the mirror, like this morning, took a shower, did everything that I could do for myself to look as good as I can. And then what I do is I look myself in the mirror and I say, I'm beautiful. It might not be that, like I'm a Raquel Welch, or, I don't know if everybody on here even knows who that person is, but, it's not like I'm some kind of a supermodel, or I'm, the, number 10, or, super pretty. That's not what I'm talking about. I do what I can for the outside, and it's the inside that's going to take care of the rest. Because I really believe it doesn't matter how beautiful you are on the outside. If you're not beautiful on the inside, you really are not very beautiful on the outside. Okay, so have a high self-esteem of yourself, is that I know what my worth is. I'm worthy. I'm beautiful. And then also our emotional health. And I was just talking to somebody this morning, and they were talking about, going through depression and things. And, they don't have energy to really do things at, certain points of time. And I could definitely understand that, but we need to gain that control over our emotions to where we sustain that energy. So having a positive outlook makes you feel more energized, doesn't it? I think it does. When you're feeling down, when you're feeling out, when you don't feel good about yourself, when you, whatever it might be, maybe you're in a bad place in life. Doesn't it tap your energy? And it takes it away. And sometimes people can't even get out of bed or off the couch or whatever. But having a clear focus in life is that, okay, I'm going to forget about the things of yesterday. I'm going to forget about maybe whatever failures there might have been yesterday. And I'm going to reach forward to what I can be, what I can do, who I am today, right here and right now. If God forgets all of what I did yesterday, if he puts it behind him, he says his mercies are new every day. And so I absolutely love that. Having a positive outlook makes you feel more energized, helps you to focus, helps you to think clearly. But poor emotional health, it can deplete and it can make you exhausted, right? So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about a few little strategies. Of course, we, as Christians, we know that the number one strategy that we can ever use to improve this right up here is going to be our study, our prayer, and our application. Okay, we know that is critical to fixing whatever problems you have up here or in your heart. Okay, so it's that balm that we put on these balms and these creams, to try to make ourselves, not age and all of that kind of thing. But the Bible is the balm. It's the balm of Gilead. That's what we need for their inner. But what I want to talk about is just a few strategies that can actually help us in understanding that there is actual science behind emotions. Okay, there's chemicals, like I was saying. There's neurons, there's synapses. There's a lot of activity going on right up here, right? And that's, of course, the beginning, the birth of our emotion. It's going to be right up in our mind. So I will ask a question. How do you feel right now? What is your emotional state right now? Are you grateful? Grateful for your life, grateful for your health, grateful for another beautiful day, even though it's very humid here, just grateful. Are you anxious about something? Are you sad? Is there a loss in your life? Are you grieving? There's all kinds of ranges of emotions. And of course, that's why there are so many emojis. I know I'm always looking for the perfect emoji, it's like, and with my kids, I'm always texting my kids, and there's just always, I love emojis, right? Because emojis can actually, they can alter what do you call the feeling of that text message, right? But our face, and that's the reason why we use emojis, is because when you're texting, you can't see the person, right? So sometimes you want to see, the happiness, the whatever. But our face is just like that emoji. Our face will literally show our emotions. Our eyebrows are absolutely key. If you look at these emojis on the screen, one thing that you're going to notice is there's an eyebrow change with a lot of them, right? The eyes, the mouth, right? There's a change on our face when we're happy, when we're sad, when we're grieving, when we're scared, when we're anxious, or whatever. And all of those things are directly linked. We have got so much nerves that are going down, the cranial nerves that are going down, and that are actually creating the emotion that we see on our face. As you notice, very few other body parts do we really express emotions. Sometimes our hands could be, because we talk with our hands a lot, right? Which that's actually, body language is very important, but there's no one area that's going to express your emotions more so than your face. And so that's why I would ask, how are you feeling right this very minute? So for decades, scientists have studied human emotions because of the mysterious nature. Very, very true is, where does emotions come from? How did they begin? How do they end? How can you alter? How are they regulated? Why is it that you can have two people in the same exact environment, maybe in the same exact situation, and yet one is grieving and is depressed and is sad, and the other one is happy and joyful and grateful? How can that be, right? It's largely going to be how we react to that outside stimuli, okay? So it's kind of like that old adage, one person sees a cup half empty and the other sees it half full, right? It's how you are actually reacting to the stimuli that's around us, okay? So simply put, emotions are your response to the environment around you. Any emotion that we might feel throughout the day can typically be categorized as either a positive or a negative emotion. So we know that positive emotions, they uplift, negative brings us down, right? So if we don't keep ourselves in check, if we don't monitor where we are at any particular time, we can actually be on a downward spiral. And I think we probably all found ourselves in that. Maybe you're really, really sad about something and you feed into that sadness, right? Instead of working your way out of it, you feed into that sadness. You think about more sadness and it makes you even worse, and and all of that. So what I've chosen to do is that I catch things quickly, early and quick. And then I have these tools that, and ask me what exactly they are. And I don't know that I can tell you, but I know that I've got them. That what I do is I turn things off and I turn things on in my mind. Okay. But one thing that I want to make mention is that there are things that can actually help us. We have got tools that we might not even know about. Okay. So we're going to talk about handling negative emotions. To keep negative emotions from decreasing your quality of life, it's important to have those coping mechanisms, like what I was telling you about, those tools, right? In addition to developing healthy habits for dealing with negative emotions, you might also consider incorporating the use of essential oils into your regular routine for mood management. Now, for me, this was actually the reason that I got started with essential oils. I was going through a super duper sad time in my life, the saddest ever. And I found myself just, I was crying a lot, and, rightfully so. And I said to myself, I've got to do something about this. I can't just, sit and wallow in this, in the sadness and let it, take me down. I have to do something about it. And this is where I began learning how to more effectively monitor and even correct wrong feelings, wrong emotions, wrong thoughts, right? And so what I wanted to do was I wanted to start using frankincense and help myself, because frankincense is very, very good for depression. Frankincense is good for any neurological issue that you could have, frankincense. So that was what started me on this journey. The more that I learned, and as I heard and learned about the history of aromatherapy and the fact that this is nothing new. This has been around for a long, long time, right? I just so happened that I stumbled on it. So it was not always referred to as aromatherapy, but using essential oils for emotional benefits are very, very old. Okay, we're talking ancient civilizations, and they used them in all kinds of different practices. All right, cooking, bathing, for your skin, and just, the list goes on and on. Okay, they were the essential oils were used during burials. Remember when the woman anointed Christ with the spikenard, and Christ said, she's doing this unto my burial. Frankincense is found in the Bible. Cassia is found in the Bible. Myrrh, which is a beautiful, beautiful oil, is found in the Bible. So these oils were used for a long, long time, right? They recognize, these ancient cultures were recognizing the power of essential oils. And it was really easy for them to figure these things out. Why? Because essential oils are all around us, right? Every time you cut an orange, there's essential oils. Every time you use basil in your cooking, or oregano or thyme, there's essential oils. All of these plants, all of these, they're found in roots, they're found in bark, they're found in leaves, they're found in what else was I supposed to be saying? Fruit, bark, leaves, roots,
stems, maybe.
Stems, okay, yeah, flowers, that's it, flowers. Ylang ylang is a perfect example of that. One of my absolute favorite of all time is ylang ylang, and that comes from a flower grown off of the coast of Africa in a little island called Madagascar. All right, now, fast forward to the 20th century. The way that we harvest, the way that we distill, the way that we even administer essential oils might be a little bit different today than it was back then. But the idea that essential oils are beneficial to support emotional health has never gone away. In other words, you would think that if there was, maybe, some kind of, like it was Fuji or I don't even know the proper word that people use. If it just was not correct, that it would have been found and, no longer used. There's plenty of medicinal practices that were used back then, such as bloodletting and other practices that they used back in that time that we don't use anymore because we recognize that it was actually doing more harm than good. Not so with the essential oils. They only became more useful, more beneficial. We're learning more things about them with the advancement of science. All right. So in the early 1990s, as we better understand, the reactions that we have in our brain through the olfaction, and the reactions are very, very quick. Okay. So when you put when you put an essential oil, when you open up a bottle of essential oil and you inhale it, immediately that is causing a reaction emotionally and internally. Just try it. You have an oil next to you. I have sunny citrus. I can literally feel it in here. I don't want to say in my brain, but I guess it's in my brain. Try it. Any oil, I don't care which one it is. Just open it up and just take a deep breath of it. And then just pay attention to what's going on right up here. You're going to feel something. You might not be able to put your fingers on it because we can't put our fingers on the limbic system in our brain. It's not tangible. Like you can tell your heart is beating just by putting your hands over your chest and feeling, right? But you can't feel anything up here. It's not tangible. It is just as real as your heart beating. These essential oils, not only do they impact your heart very, very quickly, but they impact the limbic system of your brain, your emotional self, very, very quickly. So why do I say all this? Because essential oils are one of your tools to managing good emotional health. All right. Now, like I was saying, the quickness is incredible. Okay. I hope everybody just opened up a bottle. In particular, I would a mint or a citrus. Those are ones that generate the greatest feelings of either energy or well-being, whatever it might be. Now there's a lot of oils that are very grounding, and those ones are going to be your frankincense and your copaiba and arbor vitae. They're gonna ground, right? But then there's those uplifting ones like this sunny citrus, right? It's almost like even the name is telling you something, right? It's like sunshine in a bottle, right? Got a big sun right on it. This is actually, I was going to talk about this a little bit later because I wanted to show my newest toy, shall we say. So anyway, one thing too that I want to emphasize with the essential oils is a little bit does a lot. Okay, so in each 15 ml bottle, you've got approximately 250 drops. For each application is 1 to no more than 3 drops. Okay, so like on this, for this particular application, I would take 1 drop, I would put it in the palm of my hands, I would rub it together, and I would inhale deeply several times. And oh my goodness, does that smell wonderful? Just be careful, you don't want to get it in your eyes because it very well might burn. The other day I was spraying some lemongrass and peppermint around the house. And I had a fan going and I said, oh, I'm going to spray it into the fan and let it just go all around. Well, it's not what happened. It went right in my face and went into my eyes. I was like, ooh, it went away very quickly, but it can definitely give you some burning going on in your eyes. So be careful not to get it in your eyes. But boy, I'll tell you, the effect that what I just did, the effect that it had on me, if I could do that all day long, right? Now, one of the oils that I like to do this with is an oil called Breathe. And if you have never tried that with that oil, I want you to go ahead and get that Breathe. And I want you to put a drop in the palm of your hands and rub it together. And a deep, slow inhalation. And take a pause, then do it again. Deep inhalation. It will open you up like you would not believe. If you have got any sinus issues going on, it is going to help those issues. Okay. Now, after this class, I would like to open it up for anybody who did take me on to the challenge to do that deep inhalation. If you don't have Breathe, do it with whatever oil you might have, preferably a citrus or a mint oil, preferably not like oregano. I'm not saying that you couldn't do it with oregano, but the benefits are going to be much greater with a mint oil, such as peppermint or spearmint or Breathe, or with a citrus oil, such as grapefruit or lemongrass or lemon or wild orange. Even better still is a drop of peppermint and a drop of wild orange. It will wake you up, okay? So I just want to, put that out there. If you have never tried inhaling the oils in that way, you're missing out, okay? Now, an aroma is inhaled. What happens? It travels to the olfactory system, which is right between your nose, okay? And then it goes in your inner brain. It's the limbic system, okay? Now, the olfactory system is connected, like I just said, to the limbic system, where our memories and our emotions live. Now, very interesting. Remember I said this is nothing tangible. You cannot touch it, right? But you know that it's there. And you know that it's there because you feel happy. You feel sad. You feel scared. You feel anxious, right? You feel all of these things. But can I absolutely put my hand on those? No, you can't. That's your limbic system, okay? Your memories and your emotions, they all live in that place. And so the limbic system produces a response, okay? And these responses can be beautiful. And that's where essential oils come in, is because we want to produce beautiful responses, okay? So did you ever, maybe you walked into, maybe somebody's house and maybe they're, baking, oatmeal cookies or something, and it takes you back to maybe your childhood, or maybe somebody is cooking something. The smell of corned beef and cabbage takes me back to my grandmother's house. I've got an Irish grandmother that corned beef and cabbage is a traditional Irish meal. And my grandma Moore, she used to, she cooked it, and she cooked it very well. But then if it was like maybe oregano and basil and thyme and fennel and these types, it would take me back to my grandma Arzillo's house. She's Italian and she's always cooking Italian food, So these smells take us places, right? That's your limbic system. It's a really extraordinary system that we have. All right, now here are some particular oils, but these are oil families, right? We've got the mint, which is going to be uplifting in its properties. Floral, it's going to be calming, right? Citrus, again, that strong uplifting type of a feeling. Then you've got your oils that are trees, grasses, herbs, and these are going to have a very strong uplifting, but they're also going to be, they're going to be soothing, strong, soothing, renewing, and grounding feelings. So they're not going to be as uplifting. They're going to be more just very relaxing, grounding, just kind of settling us. And then, of course, there's the spices, right? And those spices usually vary from person to person, but they're very warming. They're just homey type of smells, right? Cooking and things like that. So here are some of the calming oils: clary sage, eucalyptus, frankincense, geranium, jasmine, juniper berry, lavender, Roman chamomile, and ylang ylang. And the uplifting oils: cypress, Douglas fir, grapefruit, lemon, lime, peppermint, white fir, and wild orange. Notice a lot of the citrus oils are there. Now, every one of us has a personal favorite, right? I remember I used to diffuse Arbor Vitae, and a good friend of mine did not like that smell of Arbor Vitae. So I tried to be very careful not to diffuse that when this particular friend was there, because she just didn't like the smell. I like it because I love the smell of fresh cut wood, and that's exactly what I mean. You it smells like you're in the forest where, you know, maybe there, you know, a tree or two was cut down. You could smell it, you know. So anyway, everybody has got their own personal, you know, favorites. What is beautiful smelling to one person is kind of like ew to somebody else, right? So everybody's going to have their own experiences, their own likes, their own dislikes. How one oil might make you feel, it might not make another person feel that same way. And that's because we're all just so different. All right, now, the aromatic application. So that would be the way that I told you about, you know, just inhaling like that. You can inhale directly from the bottle, or you can put it in a diffuser. And I absolutely love my diffusers. I have 3 of them that are usually going all day long, depending on, you know, I've got 2 of them going downstairs and then 1 of them going right here behind me in my room. And I play with my diffuser blends. I've got diffuser blend books over there, and I'm just always looking for something new, whether I want a candy smelling one, or maybe I want maybe like a sleep blend. There's just such a variety of blends that you can play around with, or it could be inspired by one particular oil, right? Like maybe marjoram is my oil for the week, and so I want to try all these different blends with marjoram oil, not margarine, marjoram. Okay, the difference there. So there are just so many ways that we can that we can get these oils working for us. Then there's the topical application, okay? And that's where, obviously remembering that many of these oils, you want to dilute it with a fractionated coconut oil, okay? And I actually, I have one right here actually that I could show you. I'm giving this to Sylvia tomorrow. She just ordered a bunch of oils, and I'm going to give her this. It's a little, doTERRA sells these. It's a little, this one in particular is just like a little, it's a travel size, but it's definitely enough to get started. And then, well, I'll talk about these when I talk about internal use, but fractionated coconut oil is a very, very good way to use the oils. It keeps skin sensitivity down. It eases the spread. You can spread it in much more of a surface area, and it also quickens the absorption of the oils into your skin. Okay, so here are just some of the top oils. The oils that these are oils that would be good for us to have, because they are so useful for so many things. Arbor Vitae, basil, bergamot, cardamom, cedarwood, clary sage, clove, coriander. You can take a snapshot of this page too. I've got 3 pages of this. Cypress, which I love cypress. I use cypress all the time. Very, very good for circulation. Douglas fir, eucalyptus, frankincense, geranium, grapefruit, jasmine, juniper berry, lavender, lemon, lime, marjoram, melissa, myrrh, patchouli, peppermint, petitgrain, Roman chamomile, rose, sandalwood, spearmint, which I love spearmint, spikenard, tangerine, vetiver, white fir, wild orange, and my favorite, ylang ylang. These oils are just what we need to have just in this would make up our medicine cabinet. Okay. And I thought I had internal use, but okay. Okay, so here's a few ways that we can get these oils working. A few drops in your diffuser. Put the diffusers especially in your bedroom, anywhere where you're going to be studying. Rosemary in particular for study is very, very good. Peppermint as well. Peppermint and rosemary together with a little bit of wild orange is a dynamite study diffuser blend. Okay, peppermint because it wakes you up, rosemary because it helps your concentration, and wild orange because it will make you happy. Okay, so that's what we want, a good combination. Applying essential oil to the temples, to the shoulders, to the neck, very, very good because all of this area is going to help you to smell it as well, as there's a lot of circulation that is going in this area here. A lot of blood is being delivered in this area, okay? Put them in a spray bottle, like I was just saying, and spritz it around. Just make sure you shake that spray bottle every time. In the bath water, just like I was saying, putting in the palms of your hand, rubbing it together. I mean, I'm still smelling this oil on my hands. This morning when I took a shower, I put essential oils in my shampoo, peppermint, tea tree, rosemary, and clary sage. Okay, very good oils for your hair and for your scalp. But I also take a few drops of peppermint, maybe a few drops of rosemary, and I put it in the corner of my shower, and the steam I get like a spa experience, right? So anyway, there's just so many ways that we can use essential oils. Putting it on your pillow before you go to bed, especially if you're somebody that has trouble falling asleep. Putting it on the bottom of your feet is a very, very effective way to get these essential oils working for you, where you don't, if it's an oil that you don't particularly care for the smell, such as oregano, you put on a pair of socks, and it's very, very good for your immune system, which is a very, very important topic. So here are some different collections and different ways. Oh, but before I talked about this, I wanted to talk about this right here. Now, these are veggie caps. So veggie caps are a very good way to deliver essential oils in an internal, to get these oils working for you internally. Okay, and that's very, very important, is to have the oils working for you in several different ways. Just the one thing you have to be very, very careful is when you look at the oil, you look at the back, okay? And it will say supplement facts, or it will not say supplement facts. Let me give you an example. Once again, by using this, I'm going to use a bottle of lemon, okay? Now, if I hold this really close, I'm hoping that everybody can see where it says, and it might be a little bit backwards, but it says supplement facts, right? If it's an oil that you can take internally, it will say supplement facts. Not all oils can be taken internally. And this is a perfect example. This particular oil, the Sunny Citrus, has no supplement facts. And as a matter of fact, on the back of it, it will say for aromatic use only, okay? So before you use an oil, it's always good to just turn it around and just read. If it says anything about supplement facts, serving sizes, daily values, and it will also say for internal use. It'll even give you directions. Like this lemon, it says for internal use, dilute 1 drop in 4 fluid ounces of liquid. So it actually will even give you the way to go ahead and use it internally. Okay, so just remember that. Okay, so here is an Aroma Essentials collection. This is a beautiful way. This is actually an enrollment kit too, by the way. This is a beautiful way. If you're like me and you are in love with aromatherapy and with diffusing, this is a good way to get this into your home. Now, mind you, this diffuser is large. Okay, not only is it large, but the top of it is it's glass. So it's beautiful. It's just a beautiful diffuser. It's not like some cheapo Walmart, diffuser. This is a beautiful diffuser. Now, that we have this thing called Doterra Dollars. It's only going on in July. So if you or anybody you know wants to enroll, this is the month. Why? Because any new enrollees who enroll with a $150 order is going to earn 50 Doterra Dollars. That means you get $50 in products for free. That's on top of your enrollment kit that you're getting at a good deal anyway. That is a great way that you can either save them for maybe future spending, or you can buy some of the oils maybe that you want that are not in that kit. Okay. Now this is the Healthy Start Kit. This is a kit that most people enroll with. Okay. It gives you the 10 top oils plus a really cute diffuser. Okay. This is another enrollment kit called the Healthy Essentials. It's more expensive, but it gives you 3 times the amount of oils. Plus it gives you a larger diffuser. Okay. And you'll also get the 50 Doterra Dollars on top of that. And then there's the Healthy Habits Kit. And this is for those of us who are very into supplements and understand the superiority of doTERRA's supplements. These supplements everybody should be taking. Okay, this is the one thing that I never vary. This is done every single day. And what is this? XE Omega, Microplex VMZ, and the Alpha CRX. Or CRS, I'm sorry. I take these every single day. That is the end of my PowerPoint. And I'm going to stop my share. And okay, now we got everybody. I'm going to